time to get tactical.
Getting tactical?
Tactical.
All right.
Instead of shopping at Nordstrom.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just
Yep.
laying it all out. It needs to be said, though.
I said what I said.
Yeah, exactly. We have firmly said we're making it official
Yep.
that the male version of Karen
It's Chad.
is Chad.
And it makes me sad to say that because I know personally some really great Chads.
Yeah. Same here. I know really some of my good friends are named Chad. Some really, really good people.
Like one of my favorite people in the whole world, like a huge role model for me, is named Chad.
Yeah. I know.
And he doesn't embody the Chadness.
Right.
Because I also know some really amazing Karens.
That's what I was going to say. I know some really good Karens that other Karens ruined the name of Karen for Karen.
How's that feel? Tell us that.
Right.
You know,
let's highlight the good Karens.
Comment below a positive experience you have had with a Chad or a Karen.
Yeah.
Because we know they're out there, and we feel bad for all the good Chads and Karens of the world who have had their good names sullied by morons.
But there's been enough.
Yeah.
Chads or
listen,
Karens.
This is science. This is not objective. This
we
is
didn't
objective
make it up.
Science.
We didn't make it up.
No. This is just the way things are. And again, so hit us with the comments. We want to hear your good Chad or Karen experiences.
Tag them in the thing.
Yeah,
so
tag
we can
them so
tell
we can
them,
so we can exempt them.
Right.
And then we will also go through their Facebook profile and
we'll judge for ourselves.
No. We'll
I was like,
based on the content there, we will we'll suggest a new name for them.
Okay.
You know, maybe they exhibit more William type behaviors.
I gotcha.
Maybe somebody's a Barbara and not a Karen. I don't know. We'll help them decide what they should change their name to.
But then I was like,
to escape the stigma of Chadness or Karendom.
I was like, who are we to stand up on our mountaintop and be like, we will rename you?
No. Just suggestions. Be like, based on, last week's worth of your Facebook posts, we really feel like you're more of a Jillian.
Jillian. And Chad. Be like, we feel you're more of a Mike.
Yeah.
This
thing you said last week on Facebook was real Scott-like.
Be like, what's your middle name? Start going by that.
Yeah.
So,
welcome back to the show, everybody.
What's up? I'm bringing finger guns.
Wow. All
well,
right.
you can't shake hands and stuff, and it's just like
so. Instead of your long distance, your new social distance greeting, instead of a handshake or a fist bump or an elbow bump, you're just going straight to finger guns.
I mean,
hey, I'm not mad about it.
It's friendly.
I'm not mad about it.
Well, depending on what your face is doing. I mean, if I'm like,
you're wearing, especially if you're wearing a mask,
right? Exactly.
This could be perceived as more of a threat.
But I'm just like, have you been, the times, because this is what's brought out the Chad conversation.
Yeah.
Masks. Listen, if a place requires it, I'm good. I got mask on if that's what's needed. But what I've found that I'm still doing, because I'm a friendly individual, is still like smiling at people.
Right.
Or something like that. And then right afterwards, I catch myself and I'm just like, they can't tell what I'm doing.
No. They can see it in your eyes. Your eyes.
Like if I'm having, smiley eyes.
Yeah.
But.
No, I ran into a fellow agent at the Home Depot the other day.
At the Depot?
And straight up didn't recognize her.
Okay.
Until we were in the garden center. Yeah, so we were outside.
Right.
I did not feel the need to wear a mask at that moment.
Okay.
And it wasn't required. So I did not have a mask on.
No judgment. And that's what we should all do.
Yeah. So I didn't have a mask on.
Okay.
But she did.
Mm-hmm.
Again, do what you got to do.
Right.
You get no argument from me either way.
Right.
But I did not recognize her at all.
Okay.
Until when she recognized me, she said, "Hey, Kellen," and I was like, "Oh, that's who you are."
Right.
So it took a while, which is a bummer because again, I like to talk to people.
Right.
It's kind of a part of our job.
Right. It's a thing.
Anyway, just don't
Oh,
be
I
a
was
Chad,
like-
don't be a Karen.
I was
You
so
know?
into that story that I was like,
No,
then
that
what-
was
I
the end
like,
of the story.
Then what
I
happened?
didn't recognize this person, who I guess I should add has some very distinctive facial features,
Okay.
and I will leave it at that until we're off the mic.
Okay. No, that's fine.
So-
Not, but it's been one of those things where I'm still trying to bring friendliness because I feel like that's one of the things. I was in the store the other day, had a lady full blown go up against the aisle to avoid me as I was, not because it's me, just because she was avoiding people to that extent.
Were you going the wrong way down the aisle?
No, I
Were you
wasn't.
following the arrows?
No, but I did have one guy try and call me out, and I was like, nope, I didn't. Look again. And I was the correct one, and he was, and I was like, just walk away.
Take that, sir.
Yeah, but people are, avoiding each other to the extent of unfriendliness.
Yes.
And what about you? One of the things I love about this town is
It's
the
a friendly place.
It's a very friendly
It's
place.
everybody's
You
hometown.
Wave to people, you smile. There's a friendliness that's here.
Yeah.
And I don't want that lost.
I had my kid
because
in the
of,
car with me the other day and waved at somebody. Just the typical, like, hey,
Right.
I see you.
Right.
Guy was on a bike. I was in my car. I waved at him just so he knew, like,
That's
yeah, I see you, man.
Right.
And my son was like, why? Do you know that person? I was like, no, sometimes you just wave to be nice.
Right. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Or I'll get that because
Raise up
of,
a child in the way they should go.
Right.
Raise friendly kids.
right, exactly. Just be like, hey, it's a friendly thing to do. It's a nice thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or my kids will be like, did you know them? Because I'll strike up conversations or joke.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a jokey guy. So I will take the opportunities to make a joke, whether it lands or not. But my kids will be like, did you know them? Nope.
No.
But now I do.
But now they know me.
Yes. No, I was in full Tucker and the beard gear the other day and had the mask and was like, you know what? People can still spot me. I can't be incognito when I'm rocking the Team
when you
B
have
gear.
a picture of your face
Yeah. On
your hat and or shirt.
Yes.
Well, you even, like, you had a shirt that got mangled a little bit, so you turned the sleeve of one of yours into a mask.
Yes, I have that. I have that as my emergency mask because normally I at least have my hat on, and for the most part I usually have my
Usually
shirt.
I do too, but I got this
And
super cool hat.
And that's
from,
I know
from
that's
our
like
friends at Distressions the other
that's
day.
pretty cool, man. Little sponsorship, whether they want it or not.
Yeah. It's too late now, Mika.
It's a
Should have
thing.
known better.
It's a thing. We're just gonna make sponsors. We could have bad sponsors too. Just be like, this time it's sponsored by this place.
Yeah.
They gave me bad service. No.
Just turn sponsorship opportunities into bad Yelp reviews.
By Walmart. Don't yell at me for not wearing. No. That was
No, I feel bad for the person at the door. Like, they take the brunt of Chad and Karen.
Yeah, because was it you? Oh no, we were having coffee and somebody else that we were talking to saw a Karen at
Like,
Walmart that was like, I'm a lion, not a sheep.
I'm
Like
sure future generations will build statues in your honor.
Yeah.
You
Good
brave patriot.
Yeah. They're gonna make a musical about you,
Yeah,
like
they're gonna make-
Hamilton.
Karen.
Karen the musical.
It's just 3 hours of some lady yelling at a manager.
Can I talk to your manager?
Oh, man. How long can we pull on this thread? Let's find out.
I want it to be a thing. To quote Meg Ryan in You've Got Mail, I wanted it to be you. I wanted it to be you so badly. I want that to happen.
Oh, man.
Oh, Karen the musical. Jeez. Lin-Manuel Miranda get to work. The music
Somehow
would
I don't,
be good.
To me, yeah. I mean, somehow I don't think that would be his type of project.
You never know.
Who? Okay. All right. See, we're going to keep pulling this thread.
Listen,
So let's talk like the biggest prima donna producer / director. out there.
Okay.
Like who would be?
Who would take this on?
Yeah, who could be the person to?
Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Or at least I'm gonna mess up the South Park guys. They did the Book of Mormon.
No.
musical.
I want somebody who embodies Chadness.
Oh, okay.
Who just exudes that big Karen energy.
Tim Burton.
He could probably do it. It'd be weird and spooky too.
That's what I'm saying. Like it'd be fine.
Oh, see
normal.
now we're making it into kind of a horror movie, and I'm here for it. I'm about it.
Right. So it'd be like fine at first, and then it's just like no. What was it like?
I mean, Jack Skellington was kind of a Chad.
A little bit. Like he wanted it his way.
Yeah. To the point where he ruined it for everybody else.
Right.
Way to go, Jack.
Still sticking with the Chad. He was
Chad Skellington.
Chad in former life.
Before he died, his name was Chad.
Well,
but changed his name to Jack.
Kind of on a side. I've seen some deep Tim Burton fandoms that previous works or different works are like the precursor to like
kind of like the Pixar theory, but
but it's
Tim Burton land.
That everything's connected. All of his movies are connected. Well, not maybe all of his movies, but what was it? That Frankenweenie and stuff is Jack as a kid.
Okay,
had like
that would make sense.
And then what is it? The Bride Corpse
Bride.
Corpse Bride. Mm-hmm. I had it, man.
You were close.
I've never seen it, but I've.
Hey, man, I'm not mad at you.
You know how I feel about Tim Burton. It's all artsy fartsy and whatnot. I don't know. Anyways, going off on a huge tangent.
Yeah,
I think he could do very, very well. It'd be very, very dark and
I think that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Tim Burton.
Get to work.
Come out of retirement.
Did he retire?
Well, like pseudo-retired.
Is he like living in a shed in the forest?
I'm in.
You're like typing an email to him right now.
Yeah,
say,
I'm reaching out to
way,
his agent right now. Be like, listen.
Here's an idea.
I know Burton's kind of gone underground.
Yeah.
But dig him up.
Yeah. I was like, that's like my Rock family idea of like a multiplicity starring The Rock, where he clones himself.
I'm about it.
Do you hear his news, man? He bought out a freaking sports league.
Oh yeah. He bought the XFL. Yeah.
Putting money on it right now. I think it'll be something.
Well, I mean,
it's going to be more. Yeah.
Allegedly. Now I hear this almost every year and have for the past several years, but so many people claim that they're boycotting the NFL this year. Like, and they've been doing it for years. Yet I see the same people who are like, I'm done with the NFL. And then they go out and spend $1,000 on jerseys for them and their kids.
Yeah.
And they're obsessively talking about their team and calling it us. They're
hardcore. I've never been that person.
Nor have I. But so maybe if they're actually gonna walk the walk this year,
right?
We'll see,
right?
Because again, put your money where your mouth is,
right? But that they would watch the Extreme Football League,
right?
Which was started as a WWE branded thing. That it's kind of a mixture of football and WWE. That it was just more extreme. But I think he's the perfect person to do it, and I think it'll be. I think it's going to be huge.
I think it has some great potential. I think we're ready for it.
Yeah. Well, he's done the Titan. It kind of falls in.
Hey,
computer. That was a Star Trek reference for you. Computer.
Shut your yap.
No, but I think, it falls in line with he's bringing those Titan games,
which we love. We love that show.
Yeah,
we've been into it since. We liked it the first year.
Yeah. Okay, you win.
I'm just saying, like we're into it. Like I'm a fan.
Yeah. No, every time I've caught it, I've been a huge fan of it. It reminds me of the American Gladiator days.
Yeah. But it's like if American Gladiator kind of like had a
And
little
CrossFit.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say American Ninja Warrior.
Okay.
If those two,
Things got put in a blender,
yeah,
like a protein shake.
protein shake.
I miss American Gladiators. I think that
They
was a
tried to
cool show.
reboot it. The Ultimate Tag is real close.
That's what I was like. I
The
haven't
Ultimate Tag
seen
is
it.
real close, and the Discovery Channel of all places
Okay.
is putting out a show later this month, which is like centered around like epic dodgeball, like dodgeballs being fired from cannons level.
All right.
Like dodgeballs the size of this room in our studio.
That'd be kind of cool.
You know, so I'm like,
I'd go do that. See, American Gladiators was always so cool, but I'm like, how do they
Or like-
not get hurt?
did you ever watch Most Extreme Elimination Challenge?
No.
It was kind of a Japanese version of
Oh, is that the one that they would cut back to the commentators, and they would just do the English dub over it? That was
MXC.
funny. Well, but there's so many variations. They just came out with. There's like Wipeout.
Yeah,
And then they just-
Wipeout was kind of a more Americanized version of Most Extreme Elimination.
Right. But then they have Extreme Tag, but they had like miniature golf. Like it was like extreme miniature golf. And like
Rob Riggle was hilarious as a
Rob-
commentator in that. I
He is one
I
of-
couldn't get into
yeah.
it. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't watch it.
Rob
It's
Riggle's
not something I
amazing.
would go like, oh, it's time for another new episode.
Right.
What was that show called? I think it's still on. Because it was on
golf.
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
on the Hulu.
The Hulu.
It's on the Hulus, man. Now I gotta look for it.
Sitting there watching Hulu the other day, and it's like, I'm gonna need to break down and upgrade it so I don't have commercials anymore. Because now they're making you pick your commercial, and everything is paused. So if you step out of the room for a minute,
Yeah.
like everything's put on pause until you pick a commercial. I don't want either one. Can I pick that? No.
Right.
No. So I need to do the upgrading for, as you call it, the Hulu.
Hey, man, it's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So we, as I've mentioned before, I'll find that later. I'm not gonna take up more valuable airtime with it. Hole in one,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But they just came out with like it was Cannonball or something like that. Like they're just,
they're reaching for it.
but it's,
And hey, I think a lot of it's really fun.
right.
Like it's quality entertainment.
Right.
But where was I going?
I just cut you off.
Oh, so referring to the ads,
Oh, yeah.
right? So Shark Week started yesterday.
Yes.
And as I've stated many, many, many times, we are not cable TV subscribers.
Right.
So,
But they have it on the Hulu?
no.
They don't.
So
Okay.
I, being the piece of trash that I am, went and sought out what live TV streaming service is offering a free 7-day trial right now.
Oh, look at you.
So
That's smart.
I found a service called Philo, Philo.
Okay.
That was offering a free 7-day trial, and specifically so we could watch the new Shark Week content this year.
Fantastic.
And I was reminded very quickly how much I hate live television.
Yeah.
Because
Some commercials
and-
are okay, but
I can live without them.
90%
I mean,
is
because of our jobs and obviously with the show and doing everything,
right.
we spend a lot of time on social media. I get plenty of advertisements there.
Yeah.
So, like, I really just don't like to have any more. And so they do this thing on Philo, at least. I don't know if other live TV services do that, but when they go to commercial, when they cut to commercial, it says advertisements, and it has like a countdown clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so for every like,
They do that on Hulu. Like it's like, hey,
Well,
your
yeah,
show's
yeah.
gonna return back in 60 seconds.
but these are like more traditional commercials. You know,
Okay.
it's not like at least they're not super repetitive like the Hulu commercials.
Right.
But it was just like, yeah, you get, and I don't know if it's like, all right, well, if you need to run to the bathroom or
Right.
run to the kitchen, you got 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm like, 4 minutes of unskippable ads.
That's ridiculous.
That makes me want to carve my eyeballs out with a spoon.
I was like, I've never known commercials to be like that long.
But that's life. I've right now for people who watch real TV.
Yeah,
that's life.
Yeah. Well, but it's like my wife and I were talking about it not that long ago. That it's like I remember the day, like showing my age here, but it's like that wasn't a thing. Like you couldn't like pause TV leaving the room, or
no.
It was, I'd be watching something with my brother, and it's like, hey, you got a bathroom break? You have this long. You're diving over the couch to get back.
For sure. Because again, living a relatively ad-free existence,
right?
When it comes to content consuming, you don't get that.
Yeah.
You don't get the bathroom break.
Right.
Unless you just pause the show.
Right. And but that used to not.
Yeah, that used to just not be an option.
Right. I remember the days where I was the remote.
Right.
Where I had to get up and
pause the VCR.
And, for
VCR.
A VCR. I saw something on Facebook. Somebody was asking for a VCR. I was like, way to stick to your guns.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Well, I mean, for years, my mother-in-law, she might still have them, but she had a massive back catalog of like the Disney movies.
Yeah.
Like on VHS.
Yeah, my parents still.
Remember when they came in like that kind of thick, padded
really thick
case? It wasn't like the Nickelodeon movies just came in a paper sleeve.
Right.
But it was cool
because it was Nickelodeon.
And they were orange.
Right.
The tapes themselves were orange.
Yeah.
But like most movies, they just came in like that cardboard sleeve, but not Disney.
No.
No.
They had the cushion.
They had, yeah.
You knew you were getting a Disney movie. Mm-hmm. If you were doing like a blind tape,
yeah, you could just feel it and be like, Disney movie?
Yeah.
Disney movie?
Yeah. And it's add the puffiness to it and the nice little sleeve that it's in. But it was
popped open. You could take discounts.
It had the sound.
Shaking it to slide it out of the. Remember the frustration of getting like a new VHS tape that wasn't a Disney movie?
The sleeve?
Yeah, and you have to shake it.
Yeah.
Like a Polaroid picture.
There you
go. Just to get it out of the sleeve. Good days. Good times. Or like opening a new CD.
I was like, listen, man.
They used to sell a tool.
Mm-hmm. That you just slide across.
That you could.
Yep.
What they didn't know is that you could also just walk to your closest countertop with a hard edge and just
slide it across.
But do you remember? That's how I did the thing.
I'm going to go back. Tape days. Do you remember, like cassette tapes? And
cassette
they had
tapes
the plastic.
Were a monster to get open.
Yeah, but they did it for a while with the CDs where it was in that big plastic. You'd go to Sam Goody or some. I worked at Hastings and I don't remember. No, the Hastings didn't have it.
No, the Hastings.
But it was they
were just
big
shrink
plastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good old days, man.
Yeah.
When I had an 8-track in my car.
I still remember.
I first got it.
I still remember my first CD player.
Nice.
Was a gift from my Aunt Sherry. Shout out.
Hello.
And I think she gave me like in addition to the CD player, and I think this was simply to appease my parents.
Okay.
Lull them into a false sense of security.
Fantastic.
Gave me like a CD of like a classical choir.
Yeah, like a kid friendly.
With it, knowing full well that
what that would
my
be
Aunt
used
Sherry
for.
And my Uncle Chad
right.
were the ones who introduced me to bands like Bad Religion and the Beastie Boys and Nine Inch Nails.
Right.
Like they knew the damage that they had already done, but they're like, here's a CD player and a CD of a choir.
Wink. Right.
But you know where to get the good
stuff. And here's
stuff
some headphones.
Yeah. You know where to get the good stuff if you need it though.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Just be like, hey,
and then I ran a scam on Columbia House like everybody else did back then.
I know, man. I wish I
see. I'm a dirtbag.
No. But it was just like, hey. Well, I saw something not that long ago that was like, hey, for all those people that still owe Columbia House a whole bunch of money,
it's me.
Yeah.
I'm people.
Yeah, you're the people.
I'm the person that they are referring to.
Jeez, man. I was like, we went back into the vintage thing of showing the cobwebs. I don't know, man. Yeah, it was back to school thing. I didn't get on and see any newish movies.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch anything. I watched a few more episodes for me, the Umbrella Academy
I
is
need to
not
start
really, but it's not a show for me that I can binge.
Right.
And it's, sometimes, I mentioned like earlier in the summer, like I ran through 6-7 seasons of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine over
Right.
the course of like a week and a half.
Right.
But that's because it was just on in the background in my headphones while I was doing other stuff.
Right. You don't have to pay attention to it.
This, you have to be like, it has to have your full attention.
Right.
And it's so
Well,
good.
and I don't know about
It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but there's like I have to be in the mood to watch certain shows, and
this
not
is
that
why
I don't. Yeah, like I
It was
and
the
I was
same
gonna
way for me with like Daredevil
right.
and The Punisher, like
Right.
all of those MCU shows on Netflix was the same way. Like I couldn't just have that on. There's too much to see. There's too much to take
Well,
in.
and that's kind of my thing where it's just like, listen, there's some times where I'm like, I was gonna try and start it up, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm in the mood to watch this.
Yeah, I hear you.
Not that I have anything, and I want to watch it, but it's just kind of like
It's
don't
a
know if
lot
I'm-
more complex than your typical quote unquote comic book fare.
But it's kind of like The Boys.
Same, which new season's coming up like next week.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like, and watch the latest trailer they just came out with, and it
It's
looks
just like, so the
But it's
problem
so
with The Boys is so dark. The
dark
Boys
and-
is so dark.
it's
And Umbrella
R-
Academy is still dark-ish,
right
but it's not
R-rated.
it's not R-rated heaviness. It's better than The Boys in every way,
Right.
in my opinion, at
Yeah.
least. And honestly, the reason that I first, even when I saw that, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, started doing a little bit more, fact finding on what it was,
Right.
found out that Gerard Way,
Mm-hmm.
the lead singer from My Chemical Romance, is one of the writers for the graphic novels.
Right.
And, I'll out myself. I'm a big fan.
Right.
Always have been. Like
Right.
since their first album, I was like, this, I like that. I like that music. It's good stuff. And so I was like, well, now I'm definitely going to give it a shot. And I'm really glad that I did, because it is a great show.
Right.
It's a great story. It's really cool. The characters are super rich.
Okay. Like rich in
Like
money, or
no,
rich in
no,
okay.
just like the characters themselves. They're deep and complex, and
That's what I thought you meant, but I was like,
the
are these,
character
like-
development is fantastic.
right.
So, and it's a cool story. It's a cool show. You should watch it.
But speaking of rich characters, I saw like a fan thing the other day that it was Batman versus Iron Man. And I was like, listen, I'm a big fan of Batman, but I'm like, I think in that add up, I'm gonna be, Iron Man just flies up a little bit. I'm not saying
So
that, like,
here's the thing. It would come down to
prep.
see.
time.
This is no, not prep time at all. This is
Well, it's like
this
Kevin
is gonna get
McAllister
super.
versus Batman.
This is gonna get super into the weeds here for a second, but just ride with me.
right.
It's gonna come down to the motivation. Why is Batman fighting Iron Man?
Right. Because I think in these fan things, they just have them show up and it's like, I don't recognize you.
Fight
And
time,
and it's fight time.
It's like a round of Mortal Kombat.
Right. But I was like, Batman doesn't have laser beam gauntlets and stuff. Like, so I'm like,
Well,
I think
and
that's...
Tony Stark will kill you if he feels that he needs to.
Right.
And Batman won't kill you even if he knows you deserve it.
Right.
Right? So right there, advantage Iron Man.
Right.
Now we go to the fact that Iron Man's made out of metal
Right.
and has lasers
Edge.
and heavy projectiles
right.
and
Missile. Yeah.
and
I was like, listen,
and
I like Batman, but that's just one I don't
Iron Man
think-
has Jarvis, Batman has Alfred.
Right.
I love those characters.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But I would, if I had to, someone said, pick Alfred
gonna-
or Jarvis.
right.
I pick Jarvis every single time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Iron Man wins that fight.
Right. So it was just one of those fan things that I saw, and I was like, all right, I need more. It was one of those, like, somebody made it on a computer. Like, so credit to them
Yeah.
that it was good little computer graphics and stuff like that. And I was like, but I need the backstory.
Exactly, because
I
it
was like,
comes down to the
why?
motivation. Why are they fighting?
Right.
Because they're both good guys, right?
Right.
So why are they fighting?
Right.
Is this a civil war scenario? You know,
Right.
where it's government versus anti-government?
Right. Oh, give me something.
Give me more context. Does Iron Man have a reason to want to kill Batman?
Yeah. But it's like Batman versus Superman.
Did he fall off the
Batman.
wagon?
Batman wins that fight. Batman versus Superman. Well, and that's just going deep in the weeds of, like, listen, when Superman was, like, good because they're, like, friends, it's like, hey, here's some kryptonite. If I ever go,
Okay,
Batman's got kryptonite.
he's got kryptonite. All he has to do is figure out a way to put kryptonite in his suit,
Right.
which he can.
And going from some Smallville thing, you can make kryptonite bullets.
That's right. Kryptonite bullets. All he would have to do is infuse his gauntlets with kryptonite,
Yeah.
and it's ball game.
Right.
Now, granted, again,
I say no kryptonite. If you're going, okay, there's no
kryptonite magically doesn't
Superman-
exist, which,
Okay, Superman wins.
of course. But, you know, kryptonite does exist fictitiously. And it was like, let's pretend it doesn't exist. And you're like, well, we're pretending that it exists in the first place.
Right.
And I fully understand that.
Right.
But
We're pretending in our
we're choosing which part of our pretend lands are hard concrete facts and which aren't. I
And that's
acknowledge
just-
that.
And that's just life lessons for everybody right about now. But
So that's You want to know another matchup? Another matchup that we can discuss is
right.
Mike Tyson versus a shark.
You got to see it. I didn't get to see it. I was the one that told you about it, and
I was
didn't get
all
to see
about it.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to be like last year they did Michael Phelps versus a shark, and I was like,
which was just like a speed test,
right.
essentially.
But in my head, I was like, oh my god, they're going to put him like he's going to have to run away from a shark, like he's going to try and outswim a shark. This is fantastic.
Which I'd be there for that.
I'm totally in for it.
Don't get it wrong, but no, this was really Mike Tyson overcoming his fear. He's not a big fan of water.
Okay.
So let's just compound that by going, hey, lots of people are afraid of sharks.
Right.
And people who are afraid of water. Let's just throw those two things together because it's Mike Tyson and he's promoting a fight coming up. And they make a show. It's Tyson versus Jaws.
Right.
And what it really was they were, a research team, and they had developed a new fin camera that they wanted to try and attach to a shark. So they kind of gave Tyson some training on how to put this shark into like a sleep state.
Right.
But the bigger thing was him overcoming his fear of being in the water.
Right.
And so but he was down there with the sharks in his chainmail dive suit and the whole
Which
bit.
is more than the Michael Phelps thing. Like Michael Phelps was never next
it was legit
to.
and it was fun to watch.
Right. Because that was like, hey, we're gonna put some measurement devices on you, Michael Phelps, and you swim this length as fast as you can, and then we're gonna compare it to how fast
a shark chasing a piece of bait.
So I was like, oh my god, they're gonna see like how
hard he can punch underwater versus how fast a shark can bite and
right.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be something along those lines, but I was still like, okay.
At one point he did take a swing at a shark because he was kind of freaking out.
Right.
And they were constantly like, Mike,
right,
you gotta calm down. You gotta move slow. You gotta do
right.
things that you gotta do.
Right.
So
you're okay.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
And again, as somebody who doesn't subscribe to cable television, haven't really had a chance to watch like new Shark
stuff.
Week on Hulu. They'll have like past seasons, but they're way behind. And they do that on purpose because they reuse
they want you to watch
last year's
the new
content
stuff.
this year.
Right.
So usually by the time it's on like a streaming service, it's like at least 2 years behind.
But as far as Mike Tyson, because I've seen some videos of him boxing, like that, and practicing and stuff. To quote the late and great Ed Helms from The Hangover, he's still got it.
Yeah.
And Ed Helms is still with us. I know that. But no, then when he gets punched by Mike Tyson in The Hangover,
Yeah.
and he's like, he's still got it. Like,
again, watching just the teasers of him training for this upcoming fight next month,
I was
just like,
listen. I've seen enough. To quote,
he's a bad man.
If you go back and watch, last week's video of us and me talking about my Tom Cruise incident or whatever, I'm gonna put Mike Tyson right in there. He might be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he literally goes. I think he at least lived in Phoenix for a short time, and I know from behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a house down in the valley. I don't
Law
know if he still
enforcement that I
owns it.
talked to, they had to go talk to him because he would just go hang out with pigeons and stuff. Like, he's a big fan of pigeons.
All right.
They would find him in alleys and stuff like that, like hanging out
Just
with
doing
pigeons.
pigeon stuff.
Like, so he might be crazy. I still don't want to mess with him.
No, even more so.
Yeah.
Like I watched a homeless man have a legit fist fight with thin air.
Yeah. I don't want to mess with
I don't want to be in that scenario.
No. Because
Like,
if he's gonna do that to thin air, just imagine.
Yeah. Like he perceived a threat in a realm that no one else could see.
Right.
And was attacking it as if his life depended on it.
Right. I don't want to fight Tom Cruise
I don't want to
either.
be in the space where he perceives that threat.
Right.
And he's not Mike Tyson.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
I've watched Mike Tyson throw a punch recently.
Yeah.
And I felt it.
Yeah, because he's
like, I was watching him hit pads, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. It made that sound,
Dang,
and you're
son.
like, oh, no, that's not. That's
like
not
I said,
good.
to quote Mike Tyson about Mike Tyson, he's a bad man.
Yeah. No, it's still
bad man.
Still is. I'm
looking forward to that fight.
In our pre podcast, we should just start it early, but and just have it as something different.
We don't say anything incriminating.
Well, but if we know,
right?
Yeah, if we know, we know. But I would
just carry around a little Zoom recorder with us, like all the time.
Right, because if you don't think that this is what we're doing before the cameras are rolling,
this is what we do.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we work, but then in between working,
you put the dimes in this. Yeah, you put the quarter in the jukebox, and it's just you got to listen to the song.
That's right.
No, but I would pay money to watch a Mike Tyson versus Mayweather. I would put money down on Tyson right now. I think Mayweather.
Well, I mean, aside
worked.
from the fact of the matter is I think that Mayweather would outwork Tyson.
Yeah.
Hard.
Right.
But
I think the ones
if
that
Mayweather gets caught, even once, it's over.
It's done.
And Mayweather has that type of, he's kind of he certainly has the ability to just go hard and take somebody out in the first round.
Right.
If he sees an opportunity, he's not going to waste it.
Right.
But he's a long game. Dude's got stamina for days.
Right.
And he's well known for waiting until like third, fourth round because he wants you to show him all of your cards.
Right.
So that he can go, all right, so that's your thing.
But Tyson brings
Watch
the crazy.
This. Tyson brings the crazy, and he will eat your children.
Yeah, like he...
and it's like I said, if Mayweather gets caught one time, it's a ball game because then, it's not to be too on the nose with the Tyson versus Jaws thing. It's blood in the water at that point, and you're done.
Yeah. That's like, I've seen enough of his stuff that you're just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
That just getting caught with one of those would just be like, hey.
Life-changing for most people.
Right. It's
like you're a little stupider.
Right. It's like
if you get caught in the head with a Mike Tyson right hand.
There's been so many Rocky movies, but it's like the one after he fought Dolph Lundgren. Was that like 4?
5.
Yeah,
4 was the Russian. 5 was
the after where he's
like Tommy Gun. Tommy Gun? Was that?
Yeah, when he has
something
brain
like
damage.
Yeah. Because he got hit by Dolph Lundgren.
Literally, that movie changed everything. In the last Creed movie, he's like, listen, I fought his dad, and I've never been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
now, it's 2020, and we know things like CTE exist.
Right.
Chances are...
Which shows what a good writer Sylvester Stallone is, by the way.
He kind of telegraphed that out because Rocky
Like,
5
it's
came out,
still
what,
going.
mid-90s?
Yeah, but it was like that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Look at that. Telemarketers trying to call me during my podcast. Stop it. I don't want to buy that. I don't have any student loans. Stop it.
My car hasn't been under warranty for years.
I
want to extend it.
I like to live dangerously. No, yeah. I was like, when I look down and I go, yeah, that's an 800.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell me something.
I got this call filtering app. Life changer.
Really? Nice.
Super great.
I'm watching mailboxes. Got too many bad realtors trying to scam people.
Oh, man.
I'm going to war on that one, ladies and gentlemen. There's too many people that are pushing the Tucker buttons right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what really grinds my gears?
We're going there.
I'm just going.
New segment called "What the Tucker."
Yeah, I was like,
we've been developing that for a year and a half now. We just have never gotten around to it.
I know, because I laugh at my own stuff too much that I'd start going. Either I would get so mad that I'd, that door would get open and I'd be like, listen, and I'd
call him out by name and
it would get bad.
Just go real hard.
Or I'd be like, hee hee hee. Tell me, don't be a stupid realtor and drop letters in mailboxes saying you want to buy some houses, but really just never
can't.
You know who I'm talking about.
I do. I seen it. But yeah, so that's about all I got for this week.
I'm closing those jars, and I'm like,
close your own jar. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Time to get to work.
I've got work to do.
Yep.
And so do you guys. I mean,
yeah.
This rolls at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So
thank you for
watching.
watching.
By the time this is over, it's time for you to start your day.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks for making
all
us
you
part
fine
of your
folks.
Part of your day. We do, in fact, appreciate you an awful lot. And until next time, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.